So the landowner plants this vineyard, he develops it, he rents it out for the price of having some of the produce of the land. And then he sends a servant to get that rent. The tenants seized his servants. They beat one, killed another, and stoned a third. Then he sent other servants to them, more than the first time, and the tenants treated them the same way. What the heck? What is going on here? The first time he sent the servants, and the tenants go, we're going to beat him up. We don't want to pay anything. I think that's reason enough to call in the cops, don't you? I mean, the tenants are totally out of line here. They agreed to pay rent, and now they're refusing to do so. So how come the landowner kept on sending more servants? Because he didn't want to call the cops on the tenants. He wanted to give them another opportunity to do what was right. Because he cared about those tenants. He also cared about justice. And we're going to find out about that in a little bit. But I want you to remember this. That when God doesn't step in and destroy you when you refuse to give him what belongs to him, it's not because God's going, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's because he's giving you opportunities to repent. He's giving you the chance to say, I was wrong. Now, if you go to a church like mine, every single week we begin with something called a confession of sin, where we admit our sin. Now, I want to encourage you today to make that specific. If you belong to a church that does that, I want you to take advantage of that and start thinking about, these are the sins that I have committed. And if you don't belong to a church like that, take the opportunity after this devotion to just pray to God and admit those sins, those very specific times that you have said, no, God, I don't want to give you what belongs to you. I don't want to give you praise. I don't want to give you time. I don't want to give you effort. And instead, then, I want you to go to the cross. And remember that thing that I've been reminding you of all week already. That Jesus doesn't just own the world, but he owns you. He purchased and won you, not with gold or silver, but with his holy, precious blood and his innocent suffering and death. You are forgiven. For that specific sin that you're thinking of right now, you are forgiven. So give to God.